Shreeves joining us.
Come on.
Geoff!
Like my people, it's so good to be back amongst you, back in the mix.
Back in the mix. Okay, I want to confirm, though, I know you've had a very busy summer and doing your thing at the Euros, but we are still your favorites, correct? I just want to make sure that is clear.
I'm insulted that you even asked that question, Suze. you are numero uno. How can I do without you? And not just Premier League and Champions League for us to talk about, but you've done the big EFL deal at the CBS as well.
We're so excited.
A smorgasbord of football. Honestly, you have no idea of the scale of this thing. It is an absolute monster. So many games and so many fantastic clubs as well. So much tradition, history, culture. It's absolutely mega.
Okay, so Geoff, for viewers that might not be as familiar with the championship in League One, can you kind of, I don't know, give a one sheet on what people can expect, what kind of style of play, the type of games that we're going to be seeing? What can we expect?
No. because the truth is, Suze, you'll see absolutely everything. You'll see teams that play football. You'll see teams that are physical. You'll see the teams that are direct. You'll see teams that are really just scrapping their way through it as well. And you'll see a lot of movement as well. I mean, if we start even talking about players ahead of the season, I'm loath to talk about players who I'll keep an eye on this season, particularly in the Championship, because so many players will move between now and deadline day. Honestly, it's a real market. They're really jostling. They're already competing with each other for the best possible players. But, I mean, just in terms of the Championship itself, to put it in perspective, so for those who aren't aware of it, it's the second tier in English football. It's the one below the Premier League, of course. But to give you an idea of the scale, so more people attended games in the Championship last season than they did in the Bundesliga. That's how big it is. 24 teams. And I had a little look down the list today. 19 of those teams have played in the Premier League. There's some big, big clubs in there. I mean, you've only got to look at the playoff final, Leeds and Southampton. More people went to watch that at Wembley on the day than did the FA Cup final between Manchester United and Manchester City. So the point I'm trying to make, for those not familiar with the Championship, it may not be the Premier League, but trust me, it is just as popular and it is just as important to football fans in this country, as is League One and League Two. And of course, you've got the Carabao Cup as well with its new rule. You're either won or done, which brings real excitement as well. So there's so much to look forward to. Some massive characters in this league. And honestly, it's like, I can only describe... It's like Alexis when he starts telling gags. It's just relentless. It just goes on and on and on. And you think that's exciting? It. And there's another. I remember asking Steve Bruce about it. And he said, to be honest with you, he said, in some ways, I prefer managing in the Championship because when I was at a club in the Premier League, you know, hopefully maybe 30, 40% chance of winning a game. In the Championship, if you get beat on the Saturday, you go again Tuesday or Wednesday. So it's quickly out of your system. That's the thing. It's an absolute slog. It is really, really hard work, but it's also exciting. You get plenty of goals in the Championship.
Hell yeah. I think the Championship, when I think about it, right, Geoff, it feels like the stakes are always so high. Game in, game out. And that possibility of promotion, how much does that dictate the energy levels throughout the season? At one point, do you think teams forget about it and they're just like in the routine, all right, next game, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday? Or is that conviction of we can actually make it in the back of their mind always?
It's a good question, Nico. And I think what managers do, and you think of managers like Daniel Farke, who are very, very experienced. He's always got at least 90 points in the Championship. I mean, Leeds was so unlucky not to go up last time around. They're many people's favourites. That's obvious. I think they have if you like, a system whereby they get into a routine, they know they're on a roll, but rotation is hugely important because the sheer amount of games. And because it is so competitive, you cannot prioritise. You can't rest players. Every single game is absolutely vital. As you said, it's all about promotion to the Premier League for most clubs. Okay, some clubs it's all about survival, staying in that division. But at the same time, they know there is a chance, either automatic promotion for 2 of the clubs or the richest game in world soccer, the promotion playoff final. So huge prizes on offer.
Geoff, pick a random championship team off the top of your head, quickly.
Random? What, random? Random, honestly, I've been to every single club in my career at some point. I was looking down the list today. The teams, I want to see Luton go back up because they're close to me and I like them. There's so much history at Coventry City, where Haji Wright is at the moment as well. Sheffield Wednesday.
Okay.
Not only did Danny Grohl do an incredible job. He arrived there. I think they were second bottom. They had 2 points from 10 when he arrived. So he has turned them around unbelievably, and also, without doubt, best chant in the championship. Danny Grohl, Danny Grohl. So how can you not love Sheffield Wednesday for that reason alone? West Brom, Carlos Corberán, arguably the most talented coach in the championship. They've got new owners there. Could they spring a surprise? Leeds, can they come? Can they come back? Oh, honestly, it's amazing. It's amazing. You've got Rooney down at Plymouth as well. They're not being hotly tipped.
Great
but
question,
that might be a
Great question, Nico.
little bit harsh.
There's obviously a lot of great teams. I think something that's going to catch a lot of Americans by surprise, and maybe a good surprise, is that there's no VAR. I'm a big proponent of it, but until you get to the playoffs, there's no VAR. How does that adjust the way the game is played?
Well, fools like you will be disappointed, obviously. So that's excellent. Alexis, honestly, I love it. The fact there's no VAR, there's no discussion, there's no talking about it, and you don't get the managers or the players coming out afterwards. You and I had that great debate. Do you remember whether VAR was a good thing or a bad thing?
Right.
I don't like it.
Great being a part of it, but yes, I do remember the debate.
Okay, my part of the debate was great. Yours was a poor offering. Anyway, the beauty of it is that's it. It's done and dusted. There's no appeal, no chasing after the ref. It's done. Decision is made. There was a game at the end of last season. Leeds United beat somebody 3-2. Could have been an equaliser, but everyone just accepts it. That's the decision. It has a wonderful clarity about it, a purity, and that's the end of it.
I like that. I also wanted to ask you, Geoff, about EFL League One, because I feel like that is going to be a surprising league with the likes of Birmingham City, who just spent £13 million, for instance, in League One, which I think is pretty crazy. But Wrexham is also in League One and could win a third successive promotion, which would be sensational. What are you expecting from this league?
Well, I think, to be honest with you, I think you picked out the 2 teams that are probably the most interesting there as well. They are phenomenons, both of them, for different reasons. I mean, an absolute travesty that Birmingham City went down. That just did not work out all round. New ownership, a manager who seemed to be doing well in place, a new coach comes in, doesn't work out for Rooney, and they're down. I can't tell you, Charlie, how big a club Birmingham City are. They are absolutely huge. They're a huge club. If they get it right, they're on the charge. As for Wrexham, I'm not entirely sure I can explain to you what Wrexham is or how it's happened. It's an extraordinary story.
American owners, Geoff.
There's a documentary. I don't know if you've heard of it. Maybe that'll explain
how great American owners are for the sport in your country. I think that's how it's happened.
But, well, to be honest with you, it's only a story now if a club doesn't have an American owner or an American investor. We are turning into Little America in terms of the football here. There's so many investors, so many owners as well. And in the main, it's been absolutely positive. It's been a really good thing, if you like, because though it's different, the model in America, the sports model, it tends not to be relegation. And you have this kind of franchise operation. The league operates in a different way. But there is no question that American owners have brought good. I'm not just saying that because I'm on here. Genuinely, that the American owners have brought really, really good things to football in this country. And when I say I can't tell you about the Wrexham story, what I meant by that is I'm not quite sure why nobody hasn't done it before, because seemingly on the back of the owner's profile, that has turned a small, not a small football club in terms of history, Wrexham. There's some fantastic days, notably the giant killing of Arsenal in the FA Cup. But they've taken a club really that wasn't going anywhere and turned them into not just a success story, but an international success story. And there's no appetite or lack of appetite for that story to stop going. So, yeah, I'm with you, Charlie. They could easily go straight through, which would be incredible.
Geoff, how difficult, though, is that jump from League One to the Championship? It feels like it's a bigger leap than perhaps advancing from getting promoted into the leagues below. Am I wrong there? Or?
Just on the club in general. Like,
yeah,
it's one for the competition, but just I feel like you're going up to bigger stadiums and the fans, the emphasis on
the championship,
the overall quality of the club. I think it probably puts a lot of stress on them.
I would say that the leap from the championship to, well, there's two parts to your question, Suze. Is first of all, making the move is one thing. Secondly, is surviving once you get there. Yeah. Those are two very, very different things. I think the Championship is the hardest league to get out of, to get into the Premier League. I think that's the toughest ask. That is really, really difficult. As I said, 19 of those clubs have been in the Premier League, so it's very hard to get back to the promised land, if you like. Having said that, if you take Wrexham and where they've come from, if they manage to get up, then that would be an incredible feat. That would be an absolutely, well, not an unparalleled story, because we've seen clubs, well, we've seen other Welsh clubs, Swansea, we saw them go all the way through the divisions not that long ago. A sensational history they wrote for themselves. But if Wrexham achieve that, that is phenomenal success. And there's no reason to think that they can't, because they've got that wonderful thing in sport, which is momentum. And if they can use that momentum, I think it'll be harder for Birmingham City than it will for Wrexham. And it won't be easy for either. But as I say, it's about momentum. Birmingham City have got to bounce back. They've got to shelve their disappointment. Wrexham, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's keep this thing going. And that's a very different thing.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun to watch, and we are so excited that you can watch it all here on our CBS Sports channels. Geoff Shreeves, so great to have you back, my friend. Don't be a stranger, okay?